Thanks for watching Times News. My name is Yanko Sonda. First, the headlines. Government interdicts district commissioners and city top officials. Police arrest 17 presiding officers over the 2019 tripartite elections irregularities. And learners are sent back home as teachers praise for COVID-19 risk allowances. We have these and other stories. Please stay with us. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has interdicted 27 district commissioners and 1 acting district commissioner for Mwanza. Ministry of Local Government Public Relations Officer Njoya Mwanza has confirmed the development. Mwanza says the officials have been stopped from exercising their duties for failing to submit reports on how they utilized their COVID-19 funds in their councils. The ministry has also interdicted 4 chief executive officers of city councils and other 3 top officials from 3 municipalities. Police have arrested 12 more presiding officers who were stationed in Lilongwe City Center constituency during the 2019 tripartite elections. The officers are suspected to have taken a hand in mismanaging the elections. We have the details in this report.
The 12 will be charged with use of TPEX and alterations of official documents contrary to Section 115C, as read with Section 118 of the PPE Act. National Police spokesperson James Kadadzera said on Monday that the development brings the total number of the arrested presiding officers to 17. They will be taken to court on Tuesday for prosecution.
The second meeting of the 49th session of Parliament has reconvened in Lilongwe. Before deliberations began, lawmakers observed a minute of silence in honor of 2 cabinet ministers and 4 fellow parliamentarians who died in January this year. Speaker Catherine Gotanihara then announced that all bills passed during last meeting were gazetted after President Lazarus Chakwera assented to them. Gotanihara also announced that Parliament will be sitting for 3 hours on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, while for 4 hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Finance Minister Felix Munusu is expected to present the mid-year budget statement this Friday. President Lazarus Chakwera is also expected to answer questions from members of Parliament later next month. Prophet Shepherd Bushiri has requested the government of Malawi to allow his daughter access medical attention abroad. Bushiri's daughter was on Monday blocked from flying to Nairobi, Kenya, where she was referred by a Malawian doctor to receive further attention. Helita Soko reports.
In a statement released on Monday afternoon, Bushiri's spokesperson Ephraim Nyondo said Bushiri's daughter was blocked from flying to Nairobi, Kenya to seek medical attention. Nyondo added that the child's condition remains critical at the same medical facility which referred her to seek further medical attention in Kenya. He added that he believes the child has a right to life and access to medical attention as any other citizen.
Learners were sent home from various public schools across the country as teachers began a sit-in on the day government announced a reopening of schools. The teachers are demanding risk allowances. Spot checks at times conducted in some schools on Monday revealed classes had not yet started. Jameson Chauruka visited Chichiri, Limbi and Kanjeza primary schools and now reports.
Times met some of the learners coming from the schools much earlier than normal. They said they would be coming the next day, but they were not sure because they have just wasted the money. Surprised Nchojoma said she was not sure if she was going to come to school, also adding that the minibus fares have increased. Speaking in an area interview, Teachers Union of Malawi President Willy Malimba said the teachers would not report for duties because, among others, government is not coming out clear on the issue of risk allowances. He further said government has not fulfilled some of the requirements for the opening of the school, such as drilling boreholes in schools which do not have any, erecting temporary shelters to decongest the classrooms, among others. Ministry of Education spokesperson Kwagwanji said government was going to meet TUM leadership on the matter.
In Zomba, our reporter Jason Malawi visited Mponda Primary School, where he found learners just playing around the campus. He later visited Waida Primary School, where there were no learners at all. There were also no classes in progress at Zomba Urban Secondary School, as Jason Malawi explains.
Here in Zomba, made a follow-up to some other schools like Mponda Primary School, where we found that students were not learning. Some teachers were just sitting, and we also found other students just moving around the school and in some streets nearby the school. We also went to Baila Primary School, where we found no students there. We just found some teachers who were present today, and we also checked some schools like Zomba Urban Secondary School, where we found that there were students present but they were not learning. Went to Masongola Secondary School, where we found some students being addressed by authorities there, but there was no any indication that the students were learning. We are yet to find out from Masongola Secondary School what has really happened, because over the weekend they were complaining that they are not able to open schools today because there are some problems at the school. So we are going to find out what has really happened for them to call the students today for classes.
Our reporter Wezigausi is in Lirongwe, where she reports that learners in most public schools were sent back home as teachers continued to press for risk allowances.
At Mchesi Primary School, we literally found no learners at the premises, only to be told by the guard that the learners have been sent back home. Of course, the head teacher's office was open, but no one was inside the office. Not even a single teacher was available. Biwi Primary School is another school. On a sad note, we found some pupils playing around, saying they don't know why they are not learning, but they came to school. Some were climbing trees, whilst others were playing and just roaming around. The same situation was at Chipasola Secondary School, where learners were found sitting outside the school premises, chatting. They said they were not allowed to enter inside the gate as there was no school.
Learners were also sent back home in Nzuzu City as teachers there refused to teach without the risk allowances, saying they too are at risk of contracting COVID-19. Sam Kalimira reports from Nzuzu.
Some learners from Katoto Primary School in Mzuzu came as early as 6:30 a.m. ready for classes. However, they were told to go back home as teachers were not ready to go in class for lessons. Time's visit at the school found learners playing. Salome Gondwe, a standard 3 learner at Katoto Primary School, was among those playing and said she's tired of staying home.
Tinabwela mamawa tinabwelela so tibwela kumpana.
Other learners at Kauwa Primary School said they have not been told anything on why they are not attending classes, while at CCP Primary School, some learners said they have been told that they are not going to learn because teachers are afraid of COVID-19. But some parents think the government should discuss with the teachers to make sure children start learning. Undercleft Banda is a parent of 3 children who learn at Gesha Primary School within Mzuzu City.
Government should sit down with the teachers and discuss for a way forward. What we want is schools should be opened.
Teachers Union of Malawi is leading the strike for public school teachers, demanding for COVID-19 pegs and also recruitment of initial primary school education. EPT 13 and 14 schools in the country have been closed for 5 weeks as one way of preventing further spread of COVID-19.
We will be back after this break.
To achieve great things in life, you must do little things every day, like the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate. 1, wake up. 2, brush up. 3, smile through your day with a fresh breath and strong tea. Smile through your day with a fresh breath and strong tea. Do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate and give yourself a future to smile about. If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex.
Good health starts here.
Do your gums hurt?
Yeah.
Does your toothpaste contain sage, eucalyptus, myrrh, chamomile?
All that in one toothpaste?
Yes, try Colgate Herbal. Colgate Herbal contains nature's best herbs and Colgate's fluoride technology to give you strong teeth and healthy gums.
Ah, Colgate Herbal.
Let's go. Colgate Herbal for strong teeth and healthy gums naturally.
Yeah, chikondi chiri mmanja ndithu
shehe kukumbatirana kumasovatsana chanza koteroko bwanje kodi
shehe tikuyenera kukumbatirana kupasana mono wapazanja imeneyo tundisuni
inde shehe ndizoyeneka muchipembedzo koma nthawi inoyo ya covid-19 tikuyeneka kutsata njira zonse zopewera matenda monga kusamba mmanja khala motalikirana komanso kuvala maski komanso shehe mukudziwa kuti tikhoza kuvala maski pamene tikuswali
komadi tui
bora tionetsetse kuti maski yathuyo ndi yatwahala basi
iye ndathokoza kwambiri shehe tiona naishanla
Amalawi pamene chiwerengero cha anthu omwe akudwala covid-19 chikunkanunchipirabe ndi udindo wa wina aliyense kuonetsetsa kuti tikukhala modziteteza ku nthendayi ku malo athu achipembedzo. Onetsetsani kuti aliyense wasamba m'manja komanso wavala maski pa mikumano yathu ndipo pali mtunda osachepera 1 mita pakati pa anthu awiri aliwonse.
Amalawi don't say okuli konse tingapiteko
Uthengawu akukupatsirani ndi unduna wa umoyo mogwirizana ndi Christian Health Association of Malawi CHAM ndi thandizo lochokera ku PEPFAR.
Welcome back. Tempers are rising in Mulanje and Cholo between tea estate owners and locals over land ownership. Over the weekend, Minister of Lands Kezim Sukwa met the two sides separately to try and resolve the issue. Jameson Chauloka reports.
The locals, led by organizations, People's Land Organization, Concerned Landless Citizens of Cholo and Mulanje, and Center for Democracy and Economic Development Initiatives, accused tea estate owners of greed, having huge pieces of land while they do not have anything. The tea estate owners, on the other hand, are accusing the locals of encroaching into their legally acquired land. Speaking during the meeting with the minister, Hale Mikuwa, from the Concerned Landless Citizens of Cholo and Mulanje, said it was unfortunate that locals do not have land to build and grow for their families, while the estate owners have huge pieces of idle land.
We are looking for solutions for land problem in Cholo and Mulanje. We know that people of Cholo and Mulanje, they don't have land because all the land is in the hands of the state owners. So we ask the government to intervene in that issue to solve that problem, to make sure that people of Cholo and Mulanje, they have got land to cultivate so that to feed their families.
The minister later met management of the tea association at the Cholo Sports Club. The chairperson of the tea association, Sangwani Hara, said the problem of encroachment into their estates is huge.
The tea estates have good title to the land that they hold and that they claim is theirs. Now, there were legal processes that are followed. You can't just own land. And you also can't just come after 100 years and claim your ancestors were there. So that's, for now, that's what I'd like to comment. But they can't even prove the ancestors were there.
Speaking after the two meetings, Msukwa considered that the state owners have legal entitlement to the land in question. He, however, said looking at the population growth of the locals in the two districts, there is need for both sides, led by government, to find an amicable solution to the problem, including a possibility of government buying back some of the unused land to share to the locals.
We are in the current scenario, as the government would want to be able to look after the interests of everybody, both the people of Cholo Mulanje as well as the estate owners. And therefore, and that was why I had to meet both the two factions. And at this juncture, I would be quick to say that having heard from both sides, I'll have to bring them together so that we should be able to see the way forward of how best we can get the interests of the two together.
Msukwa then pledged to continue engaging the two sides on the matter.
The Magistrates Court in Lilongwe has denied bail 16 Department of Disaster Management Affairs DOTMA officials who were arrested last week. State had asked for 14 days to finish investigations on the matter. Chief Resident Magistrate Patrick Chira has, however, given the state 7 days. Matthews Kasanda reports.
One of the accused is DODMA Deputy Director Fiawupi Mwafongo, who has been charged with abuse of office for authorizing payment of subsistence allowances and lunch allowances totaling to 4,628,000 kwacha. Shirwa, however, could not grant the state 14 days that it had asked for, but said the investigations must be done within 7 days, after which, if the state fails to finish investigations, the accused are entitled to reapply for a bail. Last week, the defense lawyers argued before the court that the suspects be granted bail, taking into consideration that they have permanent residence, hence cannot break bail conditions. Shirwa, however, agreed with the state and granted its wish to conclude investigations, but within 7 days. One of the defense lawyers, Paweni Nkata, said they will make another application for the bail on Monday.
During the application for bail, the state had objected to the application for bail on the basis that they were still carrying on investigations. In its ruling, the court agreed with the state, saying that offences that involve white-collar crimes sometimes can be complicated, and that the state needs to be given more time. So the court actually has ruled that the state needs 7 days, after which we are free to come and make an application for bail. So we will reapply for bail next Monday after the 7 days.
The 16 officials are answering charges of abuse of office and theft by public servant.
In international news, Britain's departure from the European Union following months of negotiations has affected trade in many industries, but fishing has been hit particularly hard by the break known as Brexit. VOA's Arash Arabasadi reports that some in the business fear for their futures due to an EU ban on the export of live shellfish from Britain.
With Britain having broken away from the European Union, British fishermen say they are struggling to keep their businesses afloat.
We thought we was going to carry on after Brexit. The markets supposedly was sorted, and they've slammed the door in my buyer's face.
65-year-old Tim Hurd is an oyster fisherman in the waters by the town of Falmouth. He's been doing this for 50 years. He's part of a group of fishermen known as the Oystermen of Fowl, who for generations have been fishing these same southwestern waters. But today, he says, the fishing business here is struggling.
If I never had a bit of money in the bank and my wife wasn't working, I think we'd be out of an house, you know.
It's that serious since Brexit?
Yeah. There's people in here who turned to drink because of the strength of this. don't know where to go, what to do, how to pay their bills.
The waters here are called Class B, meaning that shellfish must be purified before consumption. It also means because of Brexit, the shellfish here can't be sold to the EU's 27-member bloc. That has Martin Laity, owner of Sailors Creek Shellfish, demanding action.
Get a move on, sort it out, get some stamina, get over to Europe, sort it out. We want direct answers to direct questions.
The European Commission says the ban is for health reasons. Fishermen say it's impractical. Those like Hurd, who is due to retire this year, are calling on the government to take urgent action to lift the EU ban. The uncertain future, he says, means retirement may have to wait. Arash Arabasadi, VOA News.
That's the news for now, but before we go the headlines once again, government interdicts district commissioners and city top officials. Police arrest 17 presiding officers over the 2019 Trabalad elections irregularities, and learners sent back home as teachers press for COVID-19 risk allowances. You have been with me, Anko Sunda. Thanks for watching.